Tomorrow's Easter, and like many of you, I'm greatly anticipating worshiping with the body of Christ and celebrating the resurrection of Jesus. Now, if you understand the resurrection correctly, then you also are aware that the church celebrates Easter each week, rather than just once a year, but that's another story for another day. My intention today is to simply point you to a verse that is pregnant with rich imagery relating to the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus that often gets overlooked in our Easter festivities and worship practices. This verse that I'm referring to is a well-known passage among believers, but few, I suspect, understand its true connection to the Passion. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is Psalm 118, verse 24. Many of you have coffee mugs or desk placards in your possession engraved with this well-known passage, and you assume it is an intended reference to any and every day. And there is a sense in which the Lord has made every day, and we should certainly rejoice in every day. However, when this song, Psalm 118, was written, it was a specific reference to a specific special day. It is likely that this song was written to be sung at the dedication of the temple. The temple was a building that was a stylized structure to reflect a garden, but not just any garden. It was intended to reflect the Garden of Eden. This building was designed in such a way that when one came near, you would sense that you were entering into a garden. However, true entry into the garden was never allowed. This was a constant reminder that Adam and his descendants were banned from the garden and therefore banished from God's presence. Psalm 118 would, in time, become part of Israel's Passover celebration, and it would be sung to conclude the Passover feast. It is in this song that we read or sing this particular line. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. In Matthew chapter 26, Matthew records for us that Jesus took his final meal with his disciples before going out to the Mount of Olives, where he would be betrayed, arrested, and led to his death. But before he makes this journey to the cross, Jesus sings one last song, and that song would have been Psalm 118. Certainly Jesus knew the meaning of the psalm and its original purpose, but if you read the psalm, you will find it utterly impossible to read it without its allusions to the crucifixion, and I imagine that was true for Jesus as well. He would have read himself into the text as he would have understood its fullest meaning. And it is here that Jesus would have lifted his voice to sing, "This is the day the Lord has made." Well, what day was he referring to? The day when death would be defeated and laid in the grave once and for all. A day when the garden gates would swing open wide for God's redeemed to stream back into the garden present, sprinkled with the blood of the Lamb. This indeed is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Happy Easter.